I'm Diane from whimsygal.com, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make my lemon custard. First thing you do is, well, I got all my ingredients ready to go. You bake it in a casserole dish filled with water with a smaller casserole dish inside, so I've got that prepared. I've buttered my casserole dish, and I've got the larger dish to put the water in because it sort of bakes in a water bath to keep the pudding moist. And I've also boiled a pot of water to use when I'm ready to put that in the oven. So now that that's all ready to go, first thing I have to do is separate 3 eggs. So I'm going to do that first. The easiest way to do it is just crack it. If you don't have to have any fancy egg separators, just kind of put the yolk on one side of the egg and just sort of transfer it back and forth, and the whites will drop right out. Just do it gently so you don't crack your yolk. There you go. Put the yolks in one bowl and the whites in another. And you do 3 eggs. There's 3. I'm just going to set these whites aside for a moment. And so we're going to get our whisk, and we're going to whisk a 1/2 cup of sugar into the egg yolks until it's nice and smooth. Give it a good whip till it sort of fluffs up a little bit. Makes it light and fluffy looking. Okay, there we go. And next, just checking my recipe here. Then we're going to whisk in 2 tablespoons of flour into the egg yolks and sugar. And that thickens it up quite a bit. So we're going to go around the edges of the bowl and get it all combined. Pretty good. And now comes the lemon part. This recipe, I've used it 1 whole big lemon before, and it came out to be a really good flavor. If your lemon's a little smaller, that would be fine, but I like lots of lemon in mine, so I try to pick the big lemons. You're going to take the lemon rind, so we're going to just sort of grate it gently over top of here, and just take all the rind from this whole lemon and put it right in here with the yolks, sugar, and flour. And make sure you don't go too far down in the lemon. You don't want to get any of that underneath pulpy part, just the bright lemon color in there. If you get on too far, it gets a little bit bitter. So just take a light coating off the top, just the dark lemon part. Just go around your lemon and lightly scrape it off. Lemon zest, that's what I was trying to think of. Get in there. Just go lightly around the whole lemon. See, I've got most of it off. Here's some nice zest right there. And it looks pretty good. And I'm just gonna take the rest that piles up in the back and just sort of flick it in there. And there's the zest of the lemon. Stir that up real quick. And then we're going to need the lemon juice. So I use my little lemon juicer here. Cut the lemon in half. And just squeeze out the juice of the lemon. The recipe calls for about 1/4 cup, but whatever you get out of the lemon will work. Seed out of there. Okay. See how much I got. We'll just measure just to. Perfect, right on 1/4 cup. So we're going to put that in here. Whisk that in with the egg yolk sugar until it's nice and smooth. Try and scrape the edges of the bowl to get the stuff stuck on the side down in there. Just make it till it's nice, smooth. Oh, it smells so good already. Okay. And to this we're going to add 1 cup of milk. You can use any kind of milk, whichever you like. I never seem to have milk in my fridge, so I kind of cheated and used my half and half that I use for my coffee, and I just poured in 1/2 cup of half and half and then filled the rest with water, so it doesn't really matter too much what you use. Sort of stir that in gently there. I want to spill it all over so it's combined. And there you go. Now we're going to move over here to our egg whites. I've got, where did I put it? Here it is. 1/4 teaspoon of salt. We're going to add that to our egg whites. We're going to use my hand blender here to whip it up, and you're going to beat it until it gets soft peaks. You don't want it to go too hard. We're not making a meringue. We're just kind of making it soft peaks, so it's not really stiff, because you don't want to go too far and make a meringue. Nice and soft. We just want to beat some air into it until it gets to a soft texture. So that'll probably take, I don't know, 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes. So I usually beat on medium. Check it here for a second. It looks almost there. It's kind of watery at the bottom, so I'm just going to do it for another couple seconds. I think that's about perfect. You see it's there. It's nice and white and fluffy. And when you pull your beaters up, the peaks kind of flop over. It's just what we want right there. So we're going to take this egg white, it gently into the egg yolk, sugar, milk mixture. We don't want to stir it in too hard. We're just going to fold it in gently because we don't want all the air that's in these whites to be knocked out of it, or else our pudding won't be fluffy. It'll just kind of be a flat mess. So we want to try and keep as much air in these egg whites as possible. So just sort of gently put them in the bowl. I use a spatula when I'm emptying the bowl because it gets all of it. Okay, there we go. And then just fold it gently in to combine the two mixtures. And this is going to be a really thin batter, but don't be worried about that. It's supposed to be thin. Okay, that's enough, I think. It's not totally mixed in, but it's mixed in enough. I don't want to beat it too much in there. You kind of see still white and yellow in there, so it's not totally mixed, but it's in there enough. So I'm just going to pour this into the casserole dish out here I've prepared. I've buttered it with butter. If you want to, you could use those little 6-ounce custard cups if you want to get really fancy and serve individual desserts. It looks really pretty that way, but it's just me and Steve tonight, so I don't want to get all fancy. I'm just going to use this one dish, and I've tried it a couple of different ways. I've used this deeper dish, and I've also used a longer, shallower dish. And the one you use really makes a difference in the consistency of the pudding. I like the deep one because you get a lot more of sauce that you can pour over the cake. It sort of separates sauce on the bottom, cake on the top. When you use a shallower dish, you get more of the spongy cake and less of the sauce. So I like using the deeper dish. So you just pour it right in there. I've preheated the oven to 350 degrees. So it's all ready to go. Sort of spread it out a little bit even. And I've already boiled the water. So I'm going to take my boiled water and just pour it outside the pan. Be careful not to get any inside the custard dish. And the water should come up about halfway, but I don't think this dish is deep enough. But it'll almost get there. 2/3 or a third of the way. That's pretty good. The moisture from the hot water just sort of keeps the pudding a little bit more fluffy and moist. So that's all ready to go in the oven. And if you're making custard cups, it would probably be about 25 minutes, but since I've used a bigger dish, I'm going to cook this for about 40 or 45 minutes. You'll know it's done when the top gets brown and the edges pull away from the dish. Oops, I just want to fix that. That's sticking up there. There. Okay, so I'm going to put this in the oven and we'll see how it turns out. Such an easy dessert, and it tastes so good. Fresh lemon just can't be beat. There we go. I'm going to set my timer for 40 minutes and check it. There we go. Okay, it's been about 38 minutes. I set my timer for 40, but I just checked it. And it looks done to me. Let's pull it out here, have a look. Oh, it smells good. And here we go. See, the top is browned and the sides have pulled away from the edge of the dish there. That's a good sign that that is done. And I probably normally would wait a few minutes, let that cool down a little bit before I started dishing it out, but I just want to show you what it looks like underneath. Oh, it's good. Nice and fluffy on the top, and underneath you've got the lemon sauce. You just sort of scoop that over. And if you'd cook this in a shallower dish, you would have a lot more of the puffy sauce and puffy cake and a lot less sauce. But I like the sauce because it just makes it so creamy. And there you have it. And then usually, what did I do with my, oh there it is, my powdered sugar. Oh, what did I do with that? Oh, there it is. Couldn't find my sifter. When you serve it, you could just sort of take some powdered sugar, confectioner sugar, just sort of sift it over top like that. And there you have it. A gorgeous, lemony, fresh dessert. You have a taste here. Perfect. It is so good. And there's only like half a cup of sugar in this whole dessert, a little bit of flour. It's almost healthy for you. So good. And that's it. Lemon custard.